He deserved it.
You know, I know Kevin. Kevin's a good man.
No.
He stood up for California.
No, he didn't.
And in fact, you know, I don't have anything to say about the other three candidates. I think they will too. But I actually have a record of standing up. I was the chair of the 2012 Democratic Convention. I was someone who stood up for you, and I've stood up for you for a long time. But I've also worked with them, and I will as governor. You know, when I say we need uniters right now, we really do need uniters.
So stop hating our president.
There are places where we can agree with the people behind you. There are, and we've got to find them. And then there are also going to be places where we're going to stand up for our values, and they're going to stand up for theirs. And you know what? In this great America, we all have a right to do that. But at the end, we got to come together. Because this is a country worth fighting for.
Yes.
And I will fight for our values, and I will stand up for them.
That's why I'm here.
So one of the issues that's really important to our club, and
Sanctuary
last
State.
year we all took a vote to endorse the passage of single-payer health care, however necessary.
Uh-oh.
Do you support specifically the legislation SB 562, which is on the table now?
They're going to roast him.
And if so, how do you pay for that bill? And if not, what are the other things that you would do as governor to make that happen?
Thank you. And I know it's important to you. Healthcare is a right. It's not a privilege.
No, it's not.
Virtually every rich, industrialized nation in the world
I can't deal with it. It's such a...
government paid for healthcare. That's what single payer is. SB 562.
Hypocrite.
That's a lie.
Specifically, it's a bill, if you read it, actually had nothing in it. I supported single payer in 1995 and 96 when I proposed expanding Medi-Cal to 200% above poverty. That is a form of single payer. Government paid for health care.
Oh, God.
I couldn't get a vote, not one vote in a Democratic legislature, because I didn't have a funding plan. SB 562 does not have a funding plan. It would cost $400 billion. $400 billion. We have a budget of $183 billion. It would require a tax increase of, some say 200 billion, but it's actually 400 billion. Damn. Because with Prop 98 says 40% of all new money goes to education. And with the 10% that goes to community colleges, that's 50%. You'd have to actually raise taxes to the tune of $400 million. And oh, by the way, $1 billion. And by the way, you need a waiver from President Trump to do that. So what I've said is, job number one is protecting the 2 to 5 million people that could lose their health care. How many of you have health care? Okay,
I sure don't, because I can't afford it.
How many of you think that health care is a right, not a privilege? How many of you would fight?
Who gives you that right? It's not a right.
How many of you would fight to make sure that everybody gets health care?
Okay.
So
I mean, I want that, but you got to do it by a free market.
Protecting the 2 to 5 million people who could lose their health care. Job number two is to look at a public option.
Oh, God.
Those of you who know a lot about single payer know that when it passed the House, they had a public option connected to it. Why?
He meant
they wanted
Obamacare.
to drive, they didn't have the votes for single payer. They wanted to drive competition in the system. I want to bring a public option, put that on the table.